Hey, Dave Grohl. Welcome to another episode of the Prog.cast. This is episode number 11. This is one of your show hosts, Nick.
It goes to 11.
That was Josh. And we got Tony over on the side checking your questions. He is the show producer, Coach Tony. Thanks for being here, Tony. Give us a mic check, Tony. Can you hear Tony?
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
All right, if you can hear Tony, say, hey, I heard Coach Tony. All right, anyways, we're going to start with October events at Progression. We're almost through October. Hammer Race happened. Remember, there's a spring one. Minnesota Open happened. Remember, if you're interested in it and you didn't know it, there's this thing called the Rochester Barbell Club. It is a thing at CrossFit Progression. Our next meet will probably be this winter. We'll have an in-house meet and then the All-City Championships. No progression classes. That already happened. Private meal prep already happened. But again, remember, you can always talk about meal prep with one of our nutrition coaches. All right, it's as easy as heading to our website, cfbfit.com, signing up for a 30-minute nutrition intro session. There's a gray bar right on our homepage. It says sign up for your NoSweat intro today. You can sign up for your intro session via that link. Okay.
Sorry we're late today, guys, but we had a really long meeting discussing really important stuff.
Yes.
So important.
So important. It had nothing to do with not having this prepped ahead of time.
Nope, we were fully prepared to be
awesome.
right on time.
And awesome. Just like the crew of the Mr. Robot.
Yes.
Last but not least, the last big event that we have going on in October before we move to November, the Halloween party. It's this Saturday, October 27th. The doors open at 7:30 p.m. Now, I know most of you are like, I'm going to be the cool kid and show up fashionably late at 8:30 or 9.
Loser.
Or you're like saying, hey, I got kids and I got to put them to bed or something before I come. Okay. But, Jinx, you owe me a soda. But this year, it's going to be, we're pretty stoked about this. Is the first official Halloween party I know of at Progression Fitness. What about you, Josh? You've been around longer than I have here.
I can't remember.
Can't remember. So we're going to call it the first annual, a Progression Halloween. A very Progression Halloween. We're going to start, we're going to have some scary movies playing, and then later in the evening it will turn into a dance club. You would be best served to show up at 7:30, maybe even slightly earlier, if you want to catch some of your favorite horror flicks. We'll have some space horror. We'll have some normal Halloween horror films playing. Come on down, have a few beverages of your choice. Bring BYOB. Significant others have had this question asked a lot. They're more than welcome to come with. Please bring your significant others. If you go to the gym, we want them here too anyways. So with that being said,
Hadouken!
Whoopsies.
Whoa, that's...
There it is. There we are.
There we are.
Okay, so no hat today for Coach Nick. Welcome.
Do you want your hat?
No, I'm good. I'll just wear this one in the background.
There you go.
Couple announcements today. Let's talk show sponsors first. You can see all the wonderful different art pieces in the background here, tagged up on the wall. This is from Art by Beth. She says...
Is that our name?
Yeah,
Art by Beth?
that's what I've dubbed it.
She needs a branding company to help her out.
Nick, I'm a branding company.
Yeah, you should help her out. Let's change her name right now.
Art by Beth. So, PM Beth directly if you're interested. Custom orders are welcome. Christmas is coming. These can make great Christmas gifts. The little one up in the corner there's $25. This one's $175, $150, $125, $50, $150. Way down in the corner, you can't see that one. But there's all sorts of different prices and sizes. They're pretty cool looking. I'll probably get one of these for Christmas. She plans on getting her Etsy shop back up and running soon, but for now, sending inquiries directly to Coach Beth is the best way to get one. Or stop by the office, okay? Again, Art by Beth, sponsors of today's show. Also, coming up, we have our weekly healthy recipe. We had a demand to make that a thing. We made it a thing. From our very own nutrition coach, Jen Schneider-Grinnell. Recipe with added chicken for a little more protein, minestrone soup with butternut squash, kale, bacon, and Parmesan. Look at all the little cups down below there. That's going to be posted in the show note links afterward. So please check back in the show notes for the weekly recipe. Who says you can't have fun and eat healthy and be fancy?
No one.
That's right. No one. All right. So we're going to fly through our patented portion, the question and answer part. And if you want to chime in along, if you want to chime in and add into the questions, or if you have additional questions to build off of as we go through the question and answer today, please post online. Coach Tony is waiting to answer all of your questions. All right? First one, I recently started adding shakes to my daily nutrition. Adding all sorts of things, spinach, flaxseed, meal, fruit, anything you like to put in yours. I believe shakes can be a great supplement to your diet to add things that you might not normally eat. Agree or disagree? Common faults shakers might make. Josh, I'm going to let you start on this one. Just start talking.
Common faults, putting too much sugar in there is the main one. Make it taste good. I used to add Hershey syrup to mine. Got out of that mode now. Just the Hershey's.
What kind of shaker are we talking about? Like ice cream sundaes?
Yeah, man.
Dairy Queen's closed, bro.
Put your cheap protein with 240 grams of sugar and then adds a little chocolate syrup to it. That's what I used to do.
Oh, nice. So here's what we have from Jen Grinnell. So here's Jen's favorite shake recipe. Frozen spinach, frozen banana, add a nice milkshake texture. So spinach and banana, that's the texture. Broccoli can be good with a flavored protein powder to mask the taste of the broccoli. Chia, hemp seed, and flax seed, add omega-3s to your shake. Blueberries and kale sound like a good idea, but they tend to make a gray-colored smoothie.
Yeah, looks like mush or...
If you're colorblind, I guess it doesn't matter. Throw them in, right?
Yeah.
So if you're colorblind, you got an advantage here. Cold coffee is a great add for morning smoothies. So a lot of great tips there from Jen Grinnell. I'll leave that one up for just a little bit here. As far as shakes go, I know a lot of people do, and this is where you got to be careful of the sugar again, but you can get the almond milk and mix that in.
Not sweetened, yep.
Not sweetened almond milk, so it's pretty much cardboard in a box, but I like it. I don't know.
No, it's really good.
I grew up eating cardboard and paper in elementary school, but I've definitely gotten past that since.
Down in Wyckoff, we just focused mainly on glue.
You were a glue school?
Yeah, we ate glue down there.
I remember in 5th grade one day, our teacher actually called out a kid, and the kid had put a whole piece of paper into his mouth. What the fuck? I know! And he stops the whole class. I think after that day, everybody quit eating paper. He stopped the whole class. He goes, James, did you just put a whole sheet of paper in your mouth?
Was that a thing? You guys just ate paper?
I guess so. It was a back row thing.
This is
in 5th
in the
grade.
30s? There was
no, this is in like the mid-90s. That just dated me.
The recession.
Okay. So, I think he went on to become a nurse, but so that's cool.
Sounds like it. I can say that because I am a nurse.
Have you guys heard of the app Wake Out? It runs you through an AMRAP of 3 easy exercises every day that you can even do from your bed. Wakeout.co. No, I haven't, but I've heard of CrossFit.com.
I haven't heard of it either.
So it sounds like a really cool idea. It sounds like another accountability app. I didn't look this one up, but anything that's going to get you exercising and doing daily stuff like this might be a really good one to prescribe to your friends if they're like, hey, I don't want to go pay for a gym membership because I don't care about my health. This is how you could save your friend's life.
Did you find it, Tony?
I did find it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a free version.
Okay.
And then there's pay to play, basically. In the free version, you get 18 exercise or 18 different movements that they'll assemble into workouts for you.
That's pretty cool.
And then the pay to play version is 250 movements.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so
you
you
can get pretty extensive.
What are the movements? Ryan, are you watching? What is like an example movement? Like a knee to a chest or something like that? I mean, what are you doing in bed?
Well, you can do from your bed, so I'm assuming you get out of bed first, or you think he's in his bed doing
I think
this?
you're in your bed.
Okay, you could definitely do burpees in your bed. That'd be an assisted burpee. Push-ups get a lot easier there, but I mean,
I hope your spouse or significant other wakes up at the same time you do.
if you sleep with your dogs, this becomes
So
significantly
rude.
more difficult.
Oh, I could not do this with my dogs.
Not possible if
they
you're
would
dog
mug. They would
sleepers.
mug me.
Might as well just come to the
mine-
gym.
Yeah, mine would not be happy.
Looks neat, though.
Looks like they're getting out of their beds.
Okay, so,
it's-
confirmed it is out of your bed, not in your bed.
That's a lame. That's a lame name, by the way.
So, have not heard of Wake Out app. Our
Maybe
show
if they-
producer, Tony,
Maybe if they had a better name, I would have heard of it.
Our show producer, Tony, looked it up. Looks cool. Again, if you're looking for something extra to do at home.
It is affordable, too. It's only $2 per month or $15 per year for the subscription.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
So it's affordable.
Let's be real about this. Okay, I have some real thoughts on this. All-encompassing fitness, if you really want to become fit, your whole life has to revolve around it. So I love the idea. So in other countries like in in China, for example, it's not uncommon. The first thing you do when you go to work, if you're morning shift, you're doing calisthenics. You go through calisthenic routine. You're ready for the day. It shows that it improves workers' output throughout the day. Fantastic. Starting your day, I know when I've started my mornings with some kind of routine, something as simple as like a bird dog and doing 50 to 100 reps of those in the morning, or even just getting up and doing a bunch of air squats or 25 to 30 burpees to start my day if I'm feeling really stiff or something. That has been, it really, really helps me get going and sets me up for a much better day. And if you have a hard time, like for example, starting your workouts, like you feel like it takes a half hour for you to finally warm up, and it's like you're 5 minutes into your 10-minute AMRAP like yesterday, and you're like, oh, I'm finally warm. You know what I mean? One, I don't know what your coach did for warm up, but two, have you ever thought about starting your warm up earlier in the day, from like when you get out of bed? Start your activity then, and even if it's just a couple minutes, you don't have to. It doesn't need to be hard, but just the act of waking up and doing, maybe like 20 push-ups as soon as you get out of bed or start to move around. Not a bad idea to help loosen up. So that's how I could see the Wake Out app maybe actually being used. If you already have a gym membership at Progression, for example. It's a cool idea. The free version will probably be more than enough, it sounds like. Thanks, Tony. That was really cool. Next question. Other than the Prog.cast, do you have any favorite CrossFit-related podcasts, fitness or CrossFit-related podcasts? I think we had this one a couple weeks ago, but let's talk about it again anyways. Jeremy's in the background. Mind Muscle Project. What's that about, Jeremy?
Mind and muscle.
Dude's from Australia.
Are their brains big? Are their heads bigger than a normal person?
They have some good guests on there. They talk a lot about CrossFit stuff.
Cool. Josh, what do you got?
Same ones as before. Icon.
Same one. Come on, bro.
Icon athlete. No, man, that's the best one. And then
Icon athlete.
Girls
Remind
Gone,
people.
Remember
for example,
Girls Gone WOD? That's great too.
Oh,
That's
okay.
great.
Girls Gone WOD. Yes, I do.
Strength.
Brood Strength.
Coach Tony has one. It's called
Weightlifting Life.
Weightlifting Life from Cast Athletics. He says it's okay, but I haven't listened to many.
I've kind of cherry picked them.
Oh, okay.
Working through when they discuss working through injuries.
Now that's the
It's
one.
specifically what I've been following through.
And that's the one. Remind me again. That's with Greg Everett and does what's her name? Ursula Papa
Something.
Andrea.
Yeah,
Or no,
I never
Ursula.
remember.
I know who she is.
Ursula something.
So she is
I can never remember
actually.
her last name.
She is on the International Weightlifting Board. I think she's like the vice president of weightlifting, which is a pretty big deal. She's one of the few women on the board. That's pretty cool. She's a big part of USA weightlifting, and she's an international weightlifter. Been to Olympics a few times too. She's a pioneer of weightlifting. Greg Everett is Greg Everett. He's been at. I think Greg Everett was actually kicked out of CrossFit along with Rob Wolf. Remember that?
The black box.
Oh my God, that's got to go in the show notes.
Yeah.
The black box articles when Greg Everett was kicked out of CrossFit along with Rob Wolf. That is a good read.
Dave Castro.
Forget your podcast. We're going old school. We're reading HTML text.
Dave Castro. Yeah. That's epic.
Oh my God, I'm so glad that this sparked
The
this.
Black Box Summit.
You're out.
Yeah.
We can't even say that. Oh my God, this is a great article. You kind of have to know old school CrossFit to understand it, probably even. Otherwise, I don't know what you'll think. All right, so fitness related podcast. What do I got? Tim Ferriss. I said it last time, but I guess here's what I want to do. Let's branch off this since we've answered this before.
Ryan just mentioned Kalipa's one. That's decent. There's some good ones in there.
He just did another one with Gary Vee the other day.
Yeah. So I have it on my playlist. I haven't listened to it yet.
Let's do this. How do you guys go? So Coach Tony, I'm going to piggyback off Coach Tony said. He goes, I specifically pick episodes to help with injury rehab or working through injuries. So let's talk about maybe how you should pick a fitness or a CrossFit related podcast. So one, you could just listen to them and take what's good and leave the rest. But two, doing for specifically what you're into and getting different ideas. So if you want to get more into weightlifting, maybe listening to the Cast Athletic podcast would be a really good one. Yeah. If you want to know more about business, maybe you listen to Gary Vee. Actually, maybe just life motivation for Gary Vee. If you want to listen to more about CrossFit, Girls Gone WOD, that could be a good one, for example. Or CrossFit HQ has a podcast. You could learn all about CrossFit HQ. There's tons of motivational ones out there. Lewis Shows, Jocko Willick. Jocko. I would not want to see that guy in the back alley. Good. If you watch Jocko, you'll understand that. Next one. You started sharing some mobility videos last week, which is awesome. Do you have any go-to YouTubers you like to follow this kind of stuff? So every single week I've posted a mobility video. It's been one person, Kelly Starrett. Go to Kelly Starrett.
He was first, still the best.
Yep, still the best, still simple. I'll tell you where I have started going more to, though, for mobility stuff and rehab stuff. Instagram. There's a lot of good PTs or like PT students who are still in college, and they've started these monster Instagram channels, and they're just doing really basic stuff like Starrett does. But you get it on the daily from these guys on Instagram. I'm sure you get it on the daily from Kelly Starrett still on Instagram. You know what I mean? So Kelly Starrett, you can't go wrong with it. I know the videos look cheaply produced, but that's because it's his original first stuff, which is free content. We have his whole book in the area in our on our bookshelf area over by the storage cubbies. It's called the Supple Leopard. If you haven't been in there, get in the Supple Leopard. Get into it, roll around with it, learn about it. Get in the Supple Leopard book, okay? Page through it. It doesn't get much simpler than the Supple Leopard if you don't know how to do it. Jeremy McGinney, he said he's personally would help anybody who wants to go through any of those stretches. So hit up Jeremy. He's here in the afternoons and the evenings.
He didn't say that.
Okay, well, I'm putting words into his mouth then. I thought I heard him mouth it, or I thought I saw him mouth it out of the corner of my eye, but I guess not. Next question. What is a good and affordable brand of sandbag to pick up for traineth in the 40 to 100 pound range? I'm sorry, training in the 40 to 100 pound range. I think you can go to Home Depot and get a burlap bag and just fill it with sand pretty much. Tony, did you say you had just looked into this?
Garage Fit.
Garage Fit.
Yep, available on Amazon, very reasonably priced.
Okay.
And you can adjust the weight very easily.
Cheaper than what you would find on like Rogue, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think that's what we're looking for. Rogue is already pretty affordable. If you have only been in the age of Rogue, then you don't understand how hard it was to find cheap fitness gear before Rogue came around, so you're spoiled. But if we want to go cheaper than Rogue, what Coach Tony just said, Garage Fit or Amazon, right?
Yep. There's a lot of them on Amazon. I can't testify to any quality except for Garage Fit I really like.
Yeah, I like the rec bags. I mean, they're a little more expensive. It's probably a lot more expensive, but they can get them wet. They're pretty indestructible. I mean, ours get pretty worn, but they get used a lot. So
Julian Pinot of Strong Fit. If you ever heard of Strong Fit, I think he has a whole page on how to make at-home sandbags, because he does weighted carries with sandbags quite often in his training, because there's nothing like carrying a 140-pound or 200-pound sandbag across the parking lot a few times to totally fry you.
Yep.
If you haven't tried that and you're like, oh, I really want to train my core, I'm going to do more crunches today, go pick up a heavy sandbag and your core will be trained. All right? Let's move on to the next one here. Oh, and here it is. You guys used to do the Whole Life Challenge regularly, and then you started doing a Progression Nutrition Challenge. Both had good turnouts, participation, and results. I always thought these were really good, especially for those of us who can't afford nutrition coaching. Are there plans to do more of these in the future? Josh, did you want to wait to pull out your items, or?
Yeah, I'll wait.
Okay, I'm going to let Josh lead off on this. And I'm
we have another Progression Challenge coming soon. Don't know that we'll do the Whole Life Challenge ever again. We don't necessarily agree with the philosophy of it, but it's out there. It's available. It's a great app. They spent like $250,000 developing that app, so
it was good at the beginning.
Go use it. Yeah, it was great when
It's one level.
when we didn't know any better. But yeah, we're going to do another nutrition challenge. The issue with the challenges are just figuring out staffing and having people that want to do it. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. Whole Life Challenge was great because the app did most of the work for you, but still not all of it. And then the Whole Life Challenge participation did drop off tremendously, and that was another reason we stopped doing it. One of the first couple ones, we had 110 people do it, and that's when we had 110 people do it, and we didn't even have that many. We had like 180 members, I think. So I think the last one we did, we had like less than 25 people do it, and probably 3 finished. So it wasn't really worth not that it was a time suck or anything, but it really wasn't worth us doing it. And then we got into the HSN stuff, which is a much better way of going about it. So we are planning to have another nutrition challenge. It'll probably be in January. We're working on the details of that right now. So Yeah. Anything to add, Nick?
Yeah, I just always thought too the sustainability of the whole life challenge kind of always became an issue for a lot of people. It wasn't always extremely sustainable, but it wasn't always totally sustainable, and it was. I don't think there'd be anything. It's not like we're gonna say no if you want to do a whole life challenge like on a Saturday at the gym and you want to do it with 5 or 6 people and start your own online group. That's fine. Like that's easy. But like Josh said, our focuses are just on our nutrition program. We really believe in that, and that's long-term results there. Which even if you just came and do a power hour, you're going to get the materials you need to sustain this for the long term.
Yeah, we're coming up on people being in that for 9 months, and the results are pretty amazing. The people that put in the work, make real changes and stick with it, it works. Sometimes it's going to take more than one try. It's the same thing. The Whole Life Challenge was good for that reason too. You do it repeatedly and you get better every time. The issues are when it first came out, it was harder to cheat. Now it's a lot easier to cheat because the approved foods in it are still not necessarily going to get you the results. You can. There's so many options now.
You got to do it in the hardest level, or else you're not doing the Whole Life Challenge how it used to be.
Yeah, and then that's not sustainable because no one's going to do that all the time.
It's like a good reset. I think that's what we found. The Whole Life Challenge was a good reset for 2 months, and then everybody fell off.
And they fell off hard. Like the people who usually did the best or won the challenge did the worst the next month.
Yep.
Like it was, and that's
Pizza.
not what we want.
Goody boy.
Yeah, we want something sustainable, and it does take real change.
And as far as the affordability part, I'm not going to guilt anybody into coming to the gym to paying for nutrition coaching. Got some ruffling around them.
Sorry,
No, that's okay.
I'm getting out some snacks.
Getting some snacks out. We got some visual aids today, gang. Stinking up the office. But we're never gonna guilt somebody into coming in for nutrition coaching because it's not how we are. You guys know that. We're not gonna pressure you into something. But, I might ask too, what could you, if weight loss, building muscle, body composition is really important to you, then how can you prioritize it better in your life? Because if there's something important in your life, you'll find a way to prioritize it. And what you got to go deeper with is maybe you're just not ready to prioritize nutrition yet, and that's okay. But when you are ready, you'll find a way probably to be able to afford it. I can think of right now how I would come up for the money for nutrition coaching. Like I would quit drinking a Bang energy drink every single day because my nutrition coach would probably tell me you should quit drinking energy drinks every single day. Or quit going out for John Hardy's at lunch. And there pretty much would probably that would free up the money I would need to do nutrition coaching on a monthly basis, or at least, a power hour,
or beer.
Or, just can you cut back a little bit on some of your vices? There's no reason, because I'll tell you what, if you, are having, I think beer's an easy scapegoat, so let's go with that for right now.
Maybe you cut down on the number of beers you have.
Yeah, or maybe if you
drink expensive beer, it's like...
Because I don't want to surprise anybody, but if you work with a nutrition coach, even if it wasn't at CFP, they're probably going to say, hey, what about your beer consumption?
Yeah, if you're over 25 and you're drinking alcohol, it's not going to get you to your 6-pack.
No.
Well,
and then if you tell us
6-pack in the fridge.
And we can go back and forth about this right all day, like, oh, but what if I want to have a beer? It's like, again, then you're not ready for nutrition coaching, or you're not really prioritizing the nutrition aspect of it. And
you might, I mean, you can still have maybe one beer.
Yeah,
but maybe not.
Do you still drink, Josh, every once in a while?
Yeah.
There you go. I still drink every once in a while, not that often, but I still do. So it's just prioritizing what you really want to do. And kudos to everybody who's at the gym already, because you're prioritizing your health by being here. What do you got, Josh?
I got my visual aids.
Let's do it. You're going to love this.
Nutrition, right? So we all know. Is this good for you? Everyone knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
No.
You don't need a nutrition coach to tell you. How about this? Is this good for you? Don't need your nutrition coach to tell you that. How about this? Out of those 3 things, which is the best choice? You already know that.
Let's hold it back up just one more time in case anybody's confused.
You're confused.
So, which is the best choice of Doritos? Oops, I can't do this when I'm looking at the screen. Doritos, M&M's, banana. If you pick banana, you already know this.
Well, everyone knows. So, what you're paying for in nutrition coaching is someone watching over you, basically. Accountability.
Every single day, they'll be like, hey, Oh, literally, I think I've seen the messages from our nutrition coaches, and it's literally pretty much batting bad food out of people's hands. And that's what you get every single day, every single week with nutrition coaching. Totally worth it.
I need to. So Zeb just said I stopped eating 4 full-size Snickers in a day and gained 10 pounds. So I have a similar story, Zeb. When I switched from regular Mountain Dew to diet, I gained 7 or 8 pounds in about 2 or 3 weeks. And the reason why is when I drink corn syrup, I have to go to the bathroom a lot. So I was literally like...
I've heard opposite stories of this. I heard a guy who pretty much only drank soda in high school, and he ended up losing like 100 pounds because it's a diuretic.
Yeah. My body's reaction to corn syrup is to poop it out. So...
It's fantastic.
Yeah, so
It's
when I
great.
stopped drinking it, I started actually taking in some
Keeping it
nutrition.
real.
Yeah, keeping it real.
Any other thoughts on this
Actually,
one?
Ryan, these props I have here have been in my house for a very long time.
Yeah, that banana was pretty ripe. The whole
No,
body
not the
smells like
banana,
bananas.
but these M&Ms are from the powerlifting meet,
Yep.
and the Doritos. Well, this hasn't been that long. It's from the Hammer Race. So. Yeah. Jeremy's requesting their M&Ms.
So, good question. Really great questions this week. We're going to try to hop right to our new portion here this week. You may have noticed at the bottom of our screen here, it says Consistency King. This week we've selected a topic to go a little deeper on. I'm going to go to a screencast here, and if it works, it'll be nice. If it doesn't, that's okay. We'll just talk about it. And we are going to pull up, and Tony will let me know here in just a second, so bear with me, everybody. Tony, what do we got? I know we're a few seconds behind here.
Yeah, there's a delay, so nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
But anyways, Consistency King.
I'll let you know
So
when it changes.
we'll start talking about this, and we'll wait to see if it changes and if it works out or not. But what we started to do is pretty much every single episode. There we go. Is every single episode, what we talk about comes back to about being consistent and being in the gym often. Okay? So as far as consistency goes, consistency in your life, consistency in your health, consistency in all this, how do you plan to be consistent? That's the question. Okay?
Can you move that on the screen at all?
Yeah, I can move it a lot. So I got to pull it down a little bit, Tone.
Move it up.
Pull it up.
We're going to keep fixing this here. Give us 2 seconds here.
Tony, why don't you, while we're waiting, why don't you start posting some of those blog posts?
Yep.
So obviously this is a major issue with everyone. So much so that I was looking back through the blog post for today, and like every single blog post I've written in the last 4 years touches on this topic. So Tony's going to post those blog posts in the comments section, and then we'll also have them in the show notes. The cool thing about your fitness, guys, is that in life, you can be a really good husband, you can be a really good partner, you can be a really good significant other, and your marriage or your relationship can still fail. You can be a really great business owner, and your business can still fail. But if you show up to the gym every day and you work hard and you do what's programmed or what's prescribed, you're going to get results no matter what. That's probably the coolest thing about fitness.
Yeah.
You do the work and you're going to get results. There isn't many things in life that are that set in stone.
Mm-hmm. And so what we have here today is just we're trying to show you how simple it is to get these results that you're looking for. Okay, and not simple, but it's how to track these and plan for success. Plan to be consistent. So all I have here is half of what you're seeing on the screen. Is like you can see
That's good.
maybe I can move it this way a little bit. Oh, that's good. Okay, so we can see the whole thing. That's awesome. Perfect. So all I've done here is in a Google Doc, which is free to everybody, is I've created a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So just 7 days worth of training. Okay. On Monday, I've just keyed in what it might look like for a member who comes 4 times a week with a few extra stuff. So I started with, what are you doing throughout the week for your workouts? CrossFit, Rev. Thursday's a rest day. Friday's personal training for 60 minutes. Saturday's an Olympic weightlifting class. And Sunday's a rest day. So there's 2 rest days in there, and there's 5 days of doing something. This might not be what you look like. Again, this is just a sample person. Okay? At the bottom of that, I put, what are you going to do at home? Mobility, 20 minutes. Mobility, 20 minutes. Mobility. And this actually probably could be every day. But that's not the point. And then at the Sunday, I'm planning grocery shopping and meal prepping. Because all I hear all the time is I just can't meal prep, or I just don't have the time to meal prep. There is the time if you find it. And place it on a calendar. Set it in stone. Make it more realistic. So what are your goals? If your goals are body composition, if your goals are to build lean muscle, you can plan for that. The more you write them down, the more places you have them, the more real they become. Okay, this is one simple. You don't have to go make a Google Doc, because that's one extra sheet to look at. I know that's the first complaint I'm going to hear from people, and that's fine.
Papers.
You also have this thing called an iPhone or a phone. If you have somebody's going to tell me I still have a flip phone, Nick, because I don't believe in technology. That's fine. But there's a lot of different avenues here. There's also a thing called paper and pen, all right? Or go to Office Max and get a paper calendar. And every single day you can plan 1 week ahead. You don't have to plan a month ahead. Plan the next week out. You don't know your next week? Find out your next week. Plan an hour this week to figure out your next week. Plan 20 minutes this week to figure out what you're going to do next week. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's the hardest step, is just actually sitting down and planning your week. Usually Sunday is a good day to do it. Just plan your whole week out. And I think the post, Have a Plan B, addresses this, like, just plan your week out. Have it ready to go. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest first step, is actually just writing down your plan for the week.
So writing down your plan. Before that, we talked about this every single week. What's your goal? What's your goal? You got to know what you want to do. Everybody says, I don't know what I want. It doesn't matter. Pick something. Make it your goal to have a goal. All right? Start there.
Yeah, your first goal can simply be to get to the gym 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And then you should be able to figure that out.
So where do we go from there? Be at the gym 3 times a week. What days are you going to be at the gym 3 times a week? When do you have 3 hours to be at the gym? What if you literally don't have 3 hours? Okay, when do you have a half hour outside the gym to work out and do an at-home workout? Maybe using the Wakeout app, right? Or maybe using a piece of CrossFit.com. Or maybe going onto our website and asking a coach, how can I modify this to do this at home?
Yep. So 3 visits to the gym a week is realistically about 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So that comes out to about 18 hours a month. Hopefully you have 18 hours during a month to focus on yourself.
Mm-hmm. And then if you want, as you build upon this, you can start to add, you notice I have multiple rows here. You can start to revolve your day around this. So maybe it ends up looking like this. Maybe instead of CrossFit 90 minutes in the morning on Monday, maybe we start maybe you get up, maybe you wake up and you do 20 minutes of mobility or 20 minutes of yoga in your bed. You download a yoga app or the Wakeout app, right? This is as you're more advanced. You've already accomplished 1 or 2 goals. Then you're making it to your CrossFit class, and then you're going to meal prep. Maybe you want to meal prep every day. Maybe you have time to meal prep every night, 20 minutes. I don't know. Right? And this is what it changes to. All right? It's all up to you, but start with 1 and progress from there.
You can do it right now. Just grab a piece of paper and do it right now.
Do it right now. Plan 20 minutes to organize your next week. Do it right now. When do you have 20 minutes to organize your next week? And if you don't have 20 minutes, find it. All right? Everybody's got 20 minutes.
Yep. Get up earlier.
Get up earlier, stay up later, whatever works better for you. If you're a night owl, stay up later. If you're a morning person, get up earlier. Plan 20 minutes to plan next week. It's okay. You don't have to start it tomorrow. We're not telling you that. Start it next week. Get 20 minutes today, though, or tomorrow, or sometime this week, and plan your next week out. I thought I'd talk, too, a little bit as far as planning for success. If you have maybe some performance goals, because I know we have a lot of endurance athletes in the gym. I know we have a lot of CrossFit athletes in the gym. Obviously, that's our bread and butter here, who like to go do competitions like game day, Granite Games, prepare for the Open on time. And I just wanted to share with you a little piece, and you might not be able to see the whole thing. I'll try to zoom it out as best I can so you can see it. But what we have here is simply our yearly training program. This is at the forefront of all of our training documents that we have, okay? And it's literally the entire year planned out on one simple page. It's not every single rep and every workout we're going to do, but it gives us a basis to what we're going to program that month or that part of the year, okay? And you don't need to know what these words are or anything like that. I'll be honest with you, I don't know all the words on here because this is just borrowed out of this is called planning your programming or periodization. That's all it means, planning your programming out. So you'll notice at the very top, I have events like CrossFit Regionals, the CrossFit Games, 2019 CrossFit Open. So we're thinking to these things. And then CF Regionals, CF Games, I'm guessing when those are going to be in the 2019. Obviously, everything's different. But instead of that, plug in the Granite Games on your calendar. Plug in your game day competition. And at least 3 months, you should at least be 3 months out on something like that. At least, at a minimum. If you're going to say, hey, I'm trying to go individual RX at the Granite Games, you probably need to be about a year out on that. At least. Okay? A year out to see how close you get to that. And then you just plan, and on the left-hand side, I have, what am I doing for my strength? What am I doing for weightlifting? What am I doing for endurance? What am I doing in my CrossFit? You know what I mean? And you can literally do this for any performance-related goal. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but please come reach out to Josh, myself, Jeremy, any of the coaches who program. They could help you set something up like this. It's really, really simple to do, to plan your training, to plan for consistent results, bottom line. Again, start today, get 20 minutes, and figure out how you're going to set yourself up for success next week. Simple as that.
Indeed.
Any questions we got online?
No question.
Go ahead.
Everybody's
Ask
just
questions.
blown away right now.
Everyone's just like, oh my God.
My life's been changed
So
forever.
easy. So easy.
It is hard, right? You're going to run into walls, and human tendency is to be lazy. Push through, though. Plan next week. You don't have to plan your entire next week. Plan to get to the gym 3 days. Pick something you want to do next week, not something that you dread doing. Pick something you want to do next week. Maybe you want to practice the Olympic lifts 3 times next week on top of going to the gym if you already got the gym thing down. It's simple. Maybe you want to stretch out for 5 minutes every day because your mobility is holding you back from holding a barbell overhead. Do that every day next week. Pick one thing and accomplish it next week. We'll check in with you in the podcast next time. Okay?
Any questions, guys? Go ahead and put them in there. Nick, can you start a little music or not?
Yeah. We'll start a little music and we're going to get out of here.
Low music.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a 10 or 15 second delay, so.
Yeah.
Turn the mic down so nobody heard that. Let's say that again. Don't forget, Saturday, 7:30, we'll be starting the Halloween party. Come on out and hang out with us. If you didn't hear that last part, we'll be having horror movies going. And then later on, after some drinks, we'll have some dance music playing. It's going to be a good time. I'm pretty excited about the first annual Halloween party. My costume, I just got an Amazon notification that my costumes arrived, or part of it. So have a great week, guys. Plan for success. Consistency is king. That's a poster. We got to put that up in the gym.
Consistency.
Don't tell Clara how you started the first time.
I'm antsy and I'm consistent.
No, I'm very antsy. Getting more consistent every day. All right.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.